Hey, I thought I'd make a video for you real quick. Give you some tips on Lightning and running your node, even if it's an Umbrel, should be just fine. Anyway, you want to make sure you create an alias for your node. Instead of just going with the public key as the ad, you just go ahead and make up a name or whatever, and so people can easily find you. And some bigger channels that have been in the game a while, they won't even open up with you if you don't have an alias. They don't like the hassle of trying to figure it out. But anyway, go ahead and create an alias for your node. Um, this is Amboss. I've shared this with you before. It's a great place. You can, I think it's 10,000 Satoshis or something, and you verify. You get access to all kinds of different features in here. You can look up other nodes, activity and fees and channels, things like that. Like for instance, here's some good information. Bcash is trash. Just opened up a 3 million Satoshi channel with me. It only cost them 319 sats. And the way you want to keep track of that, I mean, it really doesn't matter if you're patient, because if you just put one Satoshi, you'll pay per virtual byte, and you're only going to spend a couple hundred on that transaction, that data that go into the blockchain. And you don't want to be in a hurry. Because people pay 9, 10, 12, they pay $1 or $2 and et cetera to put a transaction into the quicker block to make sure it's on the next block. But when you're opening up a channel with somebody, it's all about being able to recoup the fees involved with the on-chain transaction involved to open the channel and to close it at the end, which might be a year later or whatever. But right now, I opened up a channel with you because I saw that you opened up one with me, and I'll look in my ThunderHub here, and I'll jump on channels, and I can see this one right here, I believe, was yours, opened up for 500,000. So I've got a pending transaction online that I just opened up with you and reciprocated with another 500,000. That way, traffic can go both ways through our channels. You can grab the transaction ID right there, copy it, slap it in a Block Explorer, and see where it's at if you're interested in knowing. So it's been confirmed just once. After 2 or 3 times, it'll be open up on your channel and we start working. ThunderHub is really good. Ride the Lightning is another interesting one that I really suggest you get. Both those Umbrel customers can get, or users. And then another one right here is fantastic, is LN Node Insight. So if you want to open up a channel with somebody, the first thing you want to do is jump them into 1ML and then check this availability score. So I'm not going to open up a channel with anybody who's not have a really low availability score, which means they're always online and doing really well. So there's only 148 stronger connected nodes than I am right now, and only 108 nodes in the world are growing faster than Wormwood. So lower is better here. You can see I'm new. I'm only 2 months old, so my age is here. But my channel, I'm growing. People will look at these numbers if they consider opening up with you, or reciprocating if you open up with them. They'll take a look at this and to make sure that that's, so you get that automatically by just making sure that you're running online consistently. I'm not sure how Umbrel works with that in the cloud and stuff, but anyway, I got my separate Pi there, and it just runs like crazy, and I don't disturb it or get in the way with it. Plus, it's hooked up right into my fiber. So that score will just get better and better and better, and you take that element away. Another really good one, and I'll be quick about this, is the channel simulator. So if I consider opening up a channel with somebody and they have a quick node, I checked on ML and it's on consistently, I'll patch in my public key and their public key here, and then I can run a channel simulator on the connections and the gain and how that'll work throughout the network, whether it's favorable or not. And I just grabbed this one random. I'm not going to open up a thing with C6 Diver. But what I do is once you have yourself an alias and you establish yourself over a month or two and you got a little bit of capacity, then you can turn around and you'll get these green check marks. And at first it'll just be pending. And this is at Terminal Web, which is terminal.lightning.engineering. It's fantastic. And the biggest bonus about this is once you reach a stable status, the many good peers, I think that takes like 90 days or maybe even longer, that you have to be connected with good peers consistently and without dropping too many of them, etc. So then they'll give you that score. Then this will change to good. And people are real confident in opening up with a good node. So I'm trying to reach that. But when you do get to at least stable status, then they suggest peers for you that are fantastic. So you want to just follow this list here and open up with these, and that'll help. They're mutually beneficial to both peers and the network when you take these suggestions here and run with them. So I've had a great success in adding channels that I find in here once I received this, and that took me several weeks to get that. So anyway, that's some helpful tips. Ride the Lightning, ThunderHub, check the mempool when you put something through. Verify at Amboss. You can do a signature thing with your node transaction, and they can verify that you own your node, even though you're still anonymous, no problem. But you get advanced data in here, which is really good to have. Opening channels and keeping liquidity on both sides. So you have to rebalance these sometimes. So for instance, the channel that you opened up with me has 500,000 on this side, so I can receive 500,000 Satoshis from you up to that. And then I can also set my fees for this channel by just updating details. And now I reciprocated earlier, I showed you there, at a couple hundred Satoshis. So I set the fee rate to 400, which is just 0.04% of a route. And if that comes through, then I'll recoup my on-chain fees to open the channel with you. And then after that, I can drop this way down to like 20 or something like that. Something extremely cheap in order to keep the network running. So for instance, there's channel fees updated. Another thing is on Ride the Lightning's great. You can do a circular rebalance. So for instance, German routing here, looks like they got a real small little channel with me when I started out. But I could push, say, 20,000 Satoshis over there by using the circular rebalance right here, and then pull them out of another channel and push them through there to create that liquidity and keep it balanced. And this is sort of a balance score here. A lot of nodes just try to get all remote and then a few local. So then they'll push a bunch of payments through. So another thing you can do is jump on here, and I've done this myself. When I decided I wanted to pay for something, like I bought a hat the other day online at a Lightning store, and I just hit send, and then I scanned their invoice, and I shot it, and it lets me choose which channel to send the money out through. And when you send money out through a channel, then it creates that green liquidity on the other side. Another thing I find is that NiceHash, for instance, is a cloud mining company, I believe. But anyway, the miners are real good for Lightning transactions because they get paid every single day, a small little fee, and they don't really care about the routing fee involved because they just want their money quick. And so there's lots of them. And so I'm starting to focus on some mining channels here where miners will be getting paid through and routing payments to my node. But I think in the future, when you set up a node and it starts to run, and then you can do things like even arbitrage. The other day I rebalanced a channel for about 100 Satoshis was the fee, and then the first transaction that came back on was 223 Satoshis. So I mean, it was doubling my investment and time. Of course, there's going to have to be more automation as I learn more about it in the future, because I'm not going to spend, even 30 seconds for 10 cents. It's not worth my time. But setting this up for the future, where Bitcoin and the metaverse, even, like, what is the metaverse going to be running on? Lightning. Sorry to tell you, but it's the most secure. It's not going to be Ethereum. It's not going to be Solana. It's going to be Bitcoin and the Lightning Network, because it's trusted and it exists, and there's wide adoption. So anyway, being a node in here and routing transactions for money, some of the best nodes earn $5,000, $10,000 a month worth of equivalent Bitcoin, and they just bank it, and they do it with minimal effort. So it just took a couple of weeks for me to get through this and learn how to sort of get started. And I've only got a small little bit of my Bitcoin over here, but as I get better and better at it, I'll increase my capacity to be 20, 30, maybe even up to half a Bitcoin or so I'll play around with in here. But who knows? Maybe next year I'll have a lot more than that, because I mean, there's ways you could sort of lock up your Bitcoin in a channel and just go offline, and it's almost like cold storage, because it's a recorded smart contract, a multi-sig on Bitcoin. I mean, so the future with the node is fantastic. Just wrapping your head around how it all operates is tough, and there's some good videos out there. But anyway, good luck to you, and I look forward to routing some payments together. It'll be fun.